I'm gonna go over every bad decision made in Digital Circus's finale and explain what I would have done differently. The first mistake is Kinger not coding Kane back into the circus. So in the previous episode, Kinger accidentally deleted Kane, but he lost the computer. So we are led to believe, oh no, now he can't recode Kanan, which is actually not true. First off, Kinger made a butterfly, and he rebuilds the circus in this episode. I truly do not believe he couldn't have just spawned in a new computer. Also, not to mention, Pomni got him a computer from the exit door, and there are many more computers in the office room that Kinger could have used. So Kinger could have done either of these and just spawned Kane back in after fixing his code. Kinger instead just takes defeat, which is very dumb and stupid, and because of this it leads to Jax making the next mistake. Jax in the previous episode was getting dogged on for pressing the blue button, so when Kinger makes a huge mistake and no one is dogging on him for it and actually defending him instead, this makes Jax extremely upset. How come he gets to make a mistake like this and everyone takes his side? The reason this is a mistake is because in the current state of the circus, Jax needs these members more than he ever needed them before, but now he's mad at them and has some resentment, which I think played a huge part in him isolating himself in this episode. Also during this scene, Kinger lets everyone know they are just code and not real people, which affects everyone. Kinger and Pomni though are more strong-minded and are able to start the rebuild of the circus. And while I think rebuilding the circus is smart, I feel they could have definitely tried harder to be there for the other circus members. Regardless if they are kind of being closed off, they could have talked to them or even just stood by them to make them not feel alone. I mean, Kinger gives some amazing advice to Pomni, but neither of them do that for the other members who are struggling more. To defend not doing this, Kinger just says, they'll come around. And while yes, that's probably true, it's like they totally forgot about abstracting. Given the circumstances and the intense lore drop that they aren't real, the chance of abstraction is at an all-time high. I truly don't think waiting around for the members was the right play. Speaking of abstraction, everyone does come around, except for Jax, who isolates himself, until he comes up to Pomni, says never mind, and walks away. This has to be the dumbest mistake I've ever seen in this show. Pomni just letting him walk away makes absolutely no sense. This is the same Pomni who Ted smacked Jax for being closed off. Jax coming to Pomni says everything and more. Jax is the most stubborn person in the entire circus, so if he had the guts to just walk up to her, that should show that he wanted to join them and needed Pomni. Shouldn't every person know that never mind means please help me? It's just sad, and I can't believe Pomni didn't run after him. But yeah, after he walks away, he abstracts. And Pomni says, I should have pried more. And I agree, Pomni, you definitely should have. Pomni then goes into the hallway where abstracted Jax is, because she now has the guts to be there for him after he abstracted. But whatever, she shoots out all the lights because Kinger told her how his wife was calm in the dark, which is brilliant. Pomni then hugs abstracted Jax and enters his brain. I probably wouldn't have hugged an abstraction because I'd be glitching for eternity without Kane, but I'm a wuss. Pomni's not. And if she didn't do this, we wouldn't have got Jax lore. Thank you, Pomni. Pomni then enters the first door of Jax's brain. In this door, she sees a fake scenario where Ragatha abstracts, and Pomni tells him she's there for him and that she's the only one who can fix him. And then he chokes her very violently, which is pretty scary. While this is obviously not real, it's still a way Jax thinks, which is not okay. The fact Jax is so scared of allowing someone to help him that he would probably burn bridges with Pomni and choke her out because she wants to help him is super unhealthy. This scenario is also similar to the Kaufmo scene, so it's something he has done before. Not the choking, but burning the bridge. This way of thinking is definitely a reason for his abstraction. He should have allowed himself to be vulnerable and allow people to care about him. Pomni then enters his next door, which consists of Jax seducing Gangle. And I just think this one's extremely weird. Not only is it just gross, but I think this scenario was Jax role-playing the ultimate screw you to Zubul. Like Zubul dies and he goes after their girl. That's insane. While I know Jax and Zubul had a rocky relationship, Zubul said in episode 8 that they cared about him. And it's sad that in Jax's mind, he was role-playing these crazy scenarios disrespecting Zubul, especially in the next door, where he role-plays killing Gangle and Looney Tunes fighting Zooble. I've said it multiple times, but Jax disrespecting people in the circus was the biggest mistake he ever made. These people are the only people you have. I mean, they are the only real people. He really needed them. I also don't think Zooble, or honestly anyone, would have been as mean if Jax wasn't mean to them first. Anyway, Pomni then enters the door with 4 Jaxes. I think these 4 Jaxes are representation of the walls he put up that hide the true Jax. And hiding the true Jax is a huge mistake. Because of these walls, it never allowed Jax to connect with the members. Not only that, but if he did get close to a member, these walls would come in and destroy that relationship as fast as possible. I know it's not easy, but if Jax just allowed people to see his true self, he would have been really surprised by the outcome. Speaking of ruining relationships, Jax and Ribbit had this conversation about regrets they had in the real world. Ribbit first vented to him, and then he vented to her. Jax told her about the story of him pushing his mom, and then running off and never checking if she was okay. While I think not checking on his mom was a silly decision, it's truly not something he can fix now. You can tell this really bothers him, because he believes that his mom probably died. Beautiful Ribbit is nice and comforts him, letting him know that was probably not the case. During this conversation, Kaufmo knocks on the door, and it freaks Jax out, and he throws her bow off his head and tells Ribbit,
"If you ever tell anybody about this, I'm never speaking to you again."
This one line is absolutely absurd to me. Not only is he threatening Ribbit, he's telling her pretty much, "I do not trust you at all," and that he will end their friendship just like that for something she probably wouldn't even do. Also, Ribbit told her regrets too, so it was an even trade of trauma. This just seems extremely disrespectful. Also, Kaufmo left, so they could have easily continued their moment and conversation. Because of this moment though, Jax starts to distance himself from Ribbit, and it's not like Ribbit ever told anyone about what he said. It seems Jax just felt uncomfortable that she knew this about him, which is kinda silly. She never judged him for this, and actually comforted him, showing she cared. If he thought about that conversation with common sense, he could have easily figured that out, but sadly he doesn't, and it leads to him being a jerk to Ribbit. Also, because he uses Kaufmo as a scapegoat, it leads to her not being able to spend time with Kaufmo as well. Jax literally just split up the ultimate trio because he didn't trust Ribbit. When Ribbit finally confronts him, saying she's sorry and that she misses him and wants to be friends again, Jax snaps on her saying,
"So you can pry into my personal life and hold it over my head?"
You can tell this visibly upset Ribbit, and maybe if he did not have those stupid 4 wall Jaxes, he could have read her body language and saw how hurt she was.
Is that how you think of me?
This shows 100% she has no malicious intent. Any idiot could see that. If he read this situation right and realized he could trust her, it would have allowed him to stay friends with her, and maybe then she wouldn't have abstracted. Ribbit's abstraction also caused so much trauma for Jax. It made him even more closed off. He ended his friendship with Kaufmo because Kaufmo said that he would be there for him, which, like I said earlier in the Pomni scene, is really stupid. Drop your macho ego and let your friend be there for you, you turd. He also allowed Ribbit's abstraction to end his friendship with Ragatha. And also, because of his anger with Ribbit's abstraction, he used all his anger towards Gangle because she was new. Obviously, what you do here differently is allow yourself to be with your friends and mourn Ribbit. Then, because of him not being friends with Kaufmo anymore, Kaufmo comes up to Jax talking about an exit door, and Jax just tells him he's crazy and lets him walk off, leading to Kaufmo abstracting. Jax should have definitely tried to hear Kaufmo out and go with him and comfort him, seeing if there was an exit door. And if there wasn't, or the exit door led to the void, make him feel okay that they're in the circus together. It's kind of sad that Jax probably could have prevented 2 abstractions. Anyways, Pomni ends up hugging the real Jax, accepting him for who he was after seeing everything. And what's crazy about this is it proves that if Jax was vulnerable, he would have still been loved. So all that hiding his true self was literally for nothing but making everyone hate him. While Jax and Pomni are hugging, Jax starts freaking out, steps on a flashbang, and turns into a bright light. While it's cute and funny bunny that she stays hugging and risking her life, that was pretty stupid. She should have gotten out of there as fast as she could. Imagine if the gang didn't save her. After this, we see Kane, who somehow is back and in the void. We see that Bubble is now deleted, which is good, and we watch Kane rip Abel out of him. This makes Kane a good guy, because turns out Abel was the angry monster and the reason Kane was bad. So this is kind of a theory, but couldn't Kane just have ripped out Abel earlier? I mean, who would want an angry AI inside of them? I would have ripped that fool out as fast as possible. Anyway, the episode ends with everyone super happy, enjoying the circus with happy, nice Kane. On the screens, part 1 and part 2 of How It's Fought Digital Circus. Part 1's episodes 1 through 4, part 2's episodes 5 through 8. You can watch in order, or you can watch it not in order. It's up to you. I'm not gonna tell you what to do, so bye.